The Appalachian Mountains. The Appalachian Mountains are often called the Appalachians for short. They are a vast system of mountains in the eastern part of North America. The Appalachians are believed to have been the highest mountains on Earth when all of the continents were joined as the Pangea supercontinent. The range is mostly located in the United States, but extends into the southeastern part of Canada, running from Newfoundland down to central Alabama. The term Appalachian refers to several different regions associated with the mountain range. Most broadly, it refers to the entire mountain range. However, the term is often used more restrictively to refer to the regions in central and southern Appalachian Mountains. While exploring inland along the northern coast of Florida in 1528, the members of the Narvaez expedition found a Native American village whose name they transcribed as Appalachian or Appalachian. The name was soon altered by the Spanish to Appalachia and used as a name for the tribe and the region. Narvaez's expedition first entered Appalachia territory on June 15, 1528, and applied the name. Now pronounced Appalachian, it is the fourth oldest surviving European place name in the U.S. After the De Soto expedition in 1540, Spanish mapmakers began to apply the name of the tribe to the mountains themselves. The first use of the name for the mountain range is the map of Jacques Lemoyne de Morgues in 1565. The name was not commonly used for the whole mountain range until the late 19th century. More popular names were the Allegheny Mountains, Alleghenies, and even Alleghenia. In the late 19th century, Washington Irving proposed renaming the United States either Appalachia or Alleghenia. The whole system may be divided into three great sections. The northern, from the Canadian province of Newfoundland to the Hudson River. The central, from the Hudson Valley to the New River, running through Virginia and West Virginia. And the southern, from the New River onwards. The northern section includes the Long Range Mountains on the island of Newfoundland, the Notre Dame Range in Quebec, and the Green Mountains in Vermont, as well as others. The central section comprises of the valley ridges between the Allegheny Front and the Great Appalachian Valley, as well as a large portion of the Blue Ridge Mountains. The southern section consists of a range of the Blue Ridge, which is divided into the western Blue Ridge Front and the eastern Blue Ridge Front, as well as the Cumberland Plateau, showed here in yellow. The Appalachian region is generally considered the geographical dividing line between the eastern seaboard of the United States, shown here in red, and the Midwest region of the country, shown on this map also in red. The eastern continental divide follows the Appalachian Mountains from Pennsylvania to Georgia. The Appalachian Trail is a 2,175-mile hiking trail that runs all the way from Mount Katahdin in Maine to Springer Mountain in Georgia. The International Appalachian Trail is an extension of this hiking trail into the Canadian portion of the Appalachian Range. The Appalachian Belt includes the Great Appalachian Valley, which divides the mountain system into two portions. The mountain system has no axis of dominating altitudes, but in every portion the summits rise to rather uniform heights. None of the summits reach the region of perpetual snow. Mountains of the Long Range in Newfoundland reach heights of 3,000 feet. The Notre Dame ranges in Quebec have higher summits that reach about 4,000 feet. In Maine, several peaks exceed 4,000 feet, including Mount Katahdin at 5,267 feet, and in the Green Mountains, the highest point is Mount Mansfield at 4,393 feet. Others include Killington Peak at 4,226 feet, Camel's Hump at 4,083 feet, and Mount Abram at 4,006 feet. In Pennsylvania, there are over 60 summits that rise over 2,500 feet. The summits of Mount Davis and Blue Knob rise over 3,000 feet. West Virginia has more than 150 peaks that reach 4,000 feet, including Spruce Knob at 4,863 feet, the highest point in the Allegheny Mountains. Snowshoe Mountain at 4,848 feet and Bald Knob at 4,842 feet are among the more notable peaks in West Virginia. The Blue Ridge Mountains in southern Pennsylvania, known there as the South Mountain, attain elevations of about 2,000 feet. South of the Roanoke River along the Blue Ridge are Virginia's highest peaks, including White Top Mountain at 5,520 feet and Mount Rogers at 5,297 feet. Chief summits in the southern section of the Blue Ridge are located along two main crests. Major subranges of the eastern front include the Black Mountains, the Craigie Mountains, and the Great Balsam Mountains. Its chief summits include Grandfather Mountain at 5,964 feet and Mount Mitchell at 6,684 feet, as well as Cold Mountain at 6,030 feet. The western Blue Ridge front is subdivided into Bald Mountain, the Great Smoky Mountains, and the Unicoi Mountains. Its major peaks include Roan Mountain at 6,285 feet, Max Patch at 4,616 feet, and Klingman's Dome at 6,643 feet. The Appalachian Mountains contain major deposits of anthracite coal. The coal in the form of anthracite is represented by the coal region of northeastern Pennsylvania. The bituminous coal fields of western Pennsylvania, western Maryland, Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia contain a sedimentary form of coal. The mountaintop removal method of coal mining, in which entire mountaintops are removed, is currently threatening vast areas of the Appalachian Mountains. The plant life of the Appalachians is diverse and varies primarily in response to geology, latitude, elevation, and moisture availability. The Appalachians consist primarily of deciduous broadleaf trees and evergreen needle-leaf conifers, but also contain the evergreen broadleaf American holly. The dominant northern and high elevation conifer is the red spruce, and another species is the black spruce, which extends furthest north of any conifer in North America. The Appalachians are also home to two species of fir, the balsam fir and the Fraser fir. The Canada hemlock is another important evergreen needle-leaf conifer that grows along the Appalachian chain from north to south, but it is confined to lower elevations. Several species of pines characteristic of the Appalachians are the eastern white pine, the pitch pine, and red pine, as well as others. The southern and central Appalachians are home to several hardwood canopy species such as the white basswood, the sugar maple, and the white ash. Other common trees are the red maple, bitternut hickories, and black or sweet birch. Small understory trees include the flowering dogwood. The oak forest of southern and central Appalachians consists largely of black, northern red, white, chestnut, and scarlet oaks, and hickories, such as the pignut in particular. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, the Appalachian forests were subject to severe and destructive logging and land clearing, which resulted in the designation of the national forests and parks, as well as many state protected areas. The Appalachian forests include many species of animals. The most commonly seen is the eastern gray squirrel and the much smaller southern flying squirrel. As familiar as squirrels are the eastern cottontail rabbits and white-tailed deer, which have greatly increased in number as a result of the extermination of the eastern wolf and North American cougar. Other deer include the moose, found only in the north. Another species of great interest is the beaver, which is showing a great resurgence in numbers after its near extermination for its pelt. Other common forest animals are the black bear, striped skunk, raccoon, bobcat, gray fox, and red fox. Characteristic birds of the forest are wild turkey, the great horned owl, and the red-tailed hawk. Of great importance are the many species of salamanders. Most frequently seen is the eastern or red-spotted newt. Frogs and toads are of a lesser diversity and abundance, but the wood frog is commonly encountered. Small frogs, such as the spring peepers, enliven the forest with their calls. Although reptiles are less abundant, a number of snakes call the Appalachians home. One of the largest is a non-poisonous black rat snake, while the common garter snake is among the smallest. The American copperhead and the timber rattler are poisonous pit vipers. There are a few lizards, but the broad-headed skink is one of the largest. The most common turtle is the eastern box turtle. Prominent among aquatic species is the large common snapping turtle. Appalachian streams are notable for their highly diverse freshwater fish life. Among the most abundant are those of the minnow family, while species of the colorful darters are also abundant. A characteristic fish of the forest streams is the wild brook or speckled trout, which is much sought after for its sporting qualities. The Appalachians are a beautiful mountain range full of interesting things to see and to do. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.